What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Let me just say this. I see too many of my people, I'm talking about black people, and I love my people, man. I love y'all to the core. I'm riding with y'all all the time. I'm supporting y'all all the time. But I see too many of my people like romanticizing struggle so much that they're willing to condemn other black people for not going through struggle, as if it's their fault that they didn't have to struggle for the things that they have. Let me just say this, man. Struggle, yes, it is a part of black culture, the black experience. We've like majority of our people have gone through struggle, due to systemic oppression, us growing up in neighborhoods where we don't have the best school, we don't have the best education available to us. And because of that, we ultimately don't go as far in academics sometimes because of the schools, how the school system is, or how the schools are in our neighborhoods. And yes, you can test and go to schools outside of your community, but if you don't have the best schooling as a small child, you're not going to be prepared for those tests to get into those schools. So unfortunately, we do have a lot of obstacles in our way, but let me just say this. I'm not going to condemn a black person because their family did the best that they could so that their children or their grandchildren wouldn't have to go through living in harsh conditions, living in violent environments. They did the best that they could. They found a trade or they found some type of lucrative business that enabled their family to live in upper middle class, where they didn't have to go through the conditions that a lot of our people go through. And just because they didn't go through that does not mean they don't deserve whatever they have. Let me just say this, man. If your family comes from wealth and you don't squander it, or you find a way to grow that wealth exponentially, you deserve to be commended. I'm not going to talk down on you as if you don't deserve whatever accolades that come to you because you were quote unquote spoon fed. I hate that word sometimes I hate that word sometimes because when I know somebody individually they didn't have to grow through struggle, but they worked extremely hard for whatever they have. Like if you're a doctor and you're a lawyer, you come from an upper middle class family, right? You're a black man, you're a doctor and you're a lawyer, and you grow your family's wealth exponentially. I'm not going to law school is not easy. Going to medical school is not easy. I'm not gonna talk down on you for achieving those feats. You accomplished something that you should be proud of. So I'm not gonna talk down on you as if like you don't deserve whatever you have. And I think we got to get out of that. Yes, unfortunately, a lot of us have gone through some struggle that we wish we never had to go through. I done been living in a household where we didn't have heat in the wintertime in Chicago, Illinois. Harsh cold, where I can see my breath in the house. We all sleeping in one room with an electric heater to keep all of us warm in the house. I done had times where we didn't have to put water in a big bowl and put it in the microwave and put it in, and get the water hot and put it in the sink because we didn't have no gas. We didn't have no heat. We didn't have no hot water. We had to wash up at the sink after putting the bowl in the microwave to get us warm. We had to get hot plates to cook food. It's been times, man, where me and my family, man, I kid you not, I may have had $17. My mom may have had like $9, $10. My sister had about $6. We put all that together for us to eat hot dogs, chips, sandwiches, and noodles for dinner. Like, that was dinner for us, and we made it work, and we survived off of that. My family, my mother's family come from the Robert Taylor Project housing in Chicago. Like, the Robert Taylors was a rough environment where a lot of, they didn't have access to a lot of different things that other people did. But, they found a way out, and they found a way to do better for themselves than, their parents were able to. And, that's what I plan to do, like, for my children, well, my child right now, but I plan to do the same thing for my family. So this is the thing, you can't condemn or talk down on black people, other black people that didn't go through that, Their parents did a great job. Their grandparents did a great job. So they didn't have to endure the harsh lifestyle that a lot of our people go through. So you shouldn't clown them for that. Because a lot of times I see a lot of those people that didn't grow up in poverty-stricken situations, they come and give back to a lot of our people in bad conditions. And that's the ultimate goal, man. Everybody wants to live that dream where, your family is living good. You're a black person, your family living good, and they don't have to go through the struggles that you once went through, or your parents once went through, or your grandparents once went through. And you're able to give back to other black people in other communities, that are struggling. That's the ultimate goal, man. So you can't talk down on other people that didn't go through that. Like, stop doing that as if like they don't deserve, like you deserve more, they don't deserve the accolades that they have, like because they didn't go through no struggle. Yeah, some other people may have had, benefits that weren't available to us. But at the same time, if they're growing their family's wealth exponentially, if they're not squandering that money, they didn't squander it at all, and they found a way to sustain it and grow it, kudos to them, man. Kudos to them. Especially the ones that give back to the people in our community, man. I'm not going to talk down on them. A lot of people that come from better off families, a lot of black people that come from better off families, I've seen them do great work here. I've seen people that came from poverty and go on and do better things, give back to our community. So, I'm not mad at either one. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but I just feel like we got to stop talking down on our people who find a way to rise above systemic oppression, man. They find a way to beat the system and find a way to make money and live a lucrative lifestyle for their people and create a lucrative lifestyle for their people. That's dope, man. Nobody wants to struggle. Nobody want to boil water in a microwave, heat up water in a microwave. Nobody want to do that to wash up. Nobody wants to go through that, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So just because one man didn't go through the same struggle that you went through does not mean they don't deserve their accolades or they didn't go through the black experience. The black experience is not just struggle. It's not what the black experience, it's not solely what the black experience is. It's much more than that. And I can go on in another video about the black experience, like totally. But I think we got to stop with that weird obsession with it to the point where we romanticize it like it's like if you don't go through that, it's not your you don't have a rite of passage to the black experience, or you don't deserve whatever you have, man. It's people that work hard for what they had to do in medical school, in whatever doctoral program they're involved in, or college in general, or learning a trade, learning a business, learning the family business, and learning the nuances of it, finances and everything, to sustain the wealth that their grandparents left for them, that their parents left for them, not squander it and grow it exponentially and pass it on to their families. That's my goal, to create generational wealth for my family. I think that's everybody's goal, every black person's goal, every person in general, but I'm talking to my people. So every black person's goal is to create generational wealth, because a lot of times we didn't have it. We don't have it. We don't have somebody we can call for a $100,000 loan. We don't have those type of resources or those type of networks available to us. Our families, unfortunately, were struggling and they didn't have that. So we have to find a way to get that for our people. We have to find a way to do that, to have lucrative resources for them. And once we do that, we want to pass it down generation to generations to our kids, to our grandchildren, to our great-grandchildren, and to have it keep going. That's ultimately what we want, right? And because somebody else's family achieved that, you want to talk down on them? That's ridiculous to me. It's absolutely ridiculous, because that's every black person's dream, is to do the same thing for their families. So I think we got to stop that. I think we got to stop trying to talk down and make jokes on people who you didn't have to boil your water. You didn't have to, you ain't live with no heat. You ain't never use a hot plate. Oh, you ain't black enough. You ain't this and you ain't that. Don't do that to them. They black just like me and you, but their families found a way to rise above those circumstances, those ill conditions, and provide for their families, man. Again, I talked about my family, my mother's family being from the Robert Taylor Project housing. My paternal side of the family, they were doing much better than my maternal side of the family. But my maternal side of the family found a way to get out of those conditions and do better for their families, for their children, and they living in much better conditions than they once were. We still working on it. We still climbing that hill. I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing extremely well off. I ain't middle class, but I'm doing okay. You know, I'm doing straight. But ultimately, I want to get to the point where I'm living good enough to not only provide for my family, but to help other black people in the communities that I come from in Chicago, Illinois, that I know face so much adversity, face so much systemic oppression. It's ridiculous. Police don't even want to come in them environments. Teachers don't even want to come teach in those environments, but they do it, man. So stop condemning other black people who who grew up in success, and you know they didn't have this. They have the success that wasn't available to us. They didn't have the resources that wasn't available. They have the resources that wasn't available to us. Stop talking down on them, man. Those are our people, and their families found a way to make it out. And peace and blessings to them is salutable, especially the people that grow their wealth exponentially. Peace.